Hello, Mr. Tenkey here, number 666. Dear management, okay, yes, you did just hear that today's post is just so happens to be the infamous number 666. And with that, what can I chat about today that lives up to that infamy? Well, of course, secondary marketing, the most infamous department in any mortgage company. Often secretive, often lying in the shadows, often so misunderstood. And do you know why? Me neither. Because as I see it, it's just another cog in the process, like any other part of the production line of a loan. Okay, you're just creating something. So for those of you that have always wondered what secondary does, here's a very simplified example of secondary. Okay, and let me see. Oh, I can find anything in this garage. Here is a can of beans. There, beans. So what happens is, sales guys get the can of beans. They do all the things. The back office does all their things, compliance, blah, 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 underwriting. And you essentially, voila, have a loan. Okay? That loan needs to be, we're going to sell in secondary market. You can do in-house, but my example, I'm going to do it this way. So you have this can. So secondary comes in at two different points. First, at the lock. So let's just keep it simple again. It's a C30, 5% at lock. They're going to build in, and this is just built in with the pricing. They built in 300 bips. So that's the profit. That profit is going to pay the LO's wages, etc., the processing, underwriting, and then you're going to end up with hopefully with some profit. Okay? Because if accounting's done their part, that's what you should be putting into that product to sell it at a reasonable price, and etc., etc. So this has 300. Now, what happens is at the lock, there's a time before it's sold to the secondary market. So it goes along here. Well, now it's a month and a half later and the market says this is only worth 100. Well, if secondary has done their job and hedged, that's a different process on the back, they've hedged against the market movement, they should make 200 over the hedge to add to the 100 in the market. Boom, we're back to 300. Goes the other way as well. So say now it's 400 over here. The hedge is going to cost you 100. Boom, you're back to 300. Because that's all that really secondary is supposed to be doing, is not making money, retaining the profit that was built into the loan. So 300 over here, 300 when you sell. Of course, there's ways to get some extra quarter or 3/8 on the other side. But that's secondary. That is what they're doing. And then, of course, if this gets a roach in it, you're going to have to scratch a dent and you're going to lose. So secondary should be informing people of what makes roaches get into the loan. Underwriting issues, overlays, etc. Okay? So from my point of view, you can probably guess that I don't feel secondary's knowledge and information should be a secret. And it should disseminate all its knowledge in a visible and noticeable way. So the company can have better quality of loans and make the most profit it can. And disclaimer, yes. Obviously, the level of information being given needs to be position and rank specific. But with all that, here's some questions I would ask of yourself, okay, and your company. Does secondary disseminate qualitative and concise information to the execs, underwriting, compliance, sales management, loan officers, etc., really the company? Does secondary have, and this is what I would call internal AEs, to sell and inform your various departments on product? Does secondary inform your company as to why a loan may become unsellable? Also, how to prevent sales and operational reasons for that? Does secondary help with scenarios to keep and win those deals? Does secondary advise on pricing strategies, company-wide as well as just loan-specific? This list grows, but hopefully you can see what I'm getting at. Does secondary add value, and how? If your secondary department is more infamy than information, you, my friends, may have a problem. And those are my couple pennies. Have a good day, peeps.